Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. Fear is rising in crypto markets, and XRP finally moves to the downside after bucking the trend for a few days in a row, being the best performer out of any crypto in the top 10. And so, even though it's the case that market participants are seeing increased fear, let me give you some reasons that it doesn't make sense to be fearful. So I'm going to keep this video pretty straight and to the point because in terms of what's causing the movement that we're seeing, it's not that complex. And I'm not a financial guru. I'm just a dude who has access to the internet and who can control his emotions after receiving sufficient data. Like, this is not complex stuff here. And it's not bad. So fine, XRP even finally started to move to the downside. So what? I'll explain exactly what's going on. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. At the time that I'm recording this, XRP is at 36 cents. Bitcoin is $19,811. Market cap for the asset class broke below $1 trillion, currently at 931 billion. Haven't seen that in a while. Bitcoin dominance at 41.07%. And here you can see the crypto fear and greed index at levels that we haven't seen since what? When was the last time we saw this low? It was either late last year or the beginning part of this year, but 34 out of 100 indicating market participants are absolutely in fear yet again. Now, this despite the fact that, at least for XRP holders, things have been looking good for most of the last few days, as the rest of crypto, in terms of price action, was crumbling. XRP was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Nah, I'm just not going to do that. I don't care. No, I'm doing my thing. And so what we saw was tremendous increase in terms of volume. At the time I'm recording this, 24-hour volume for XRP being a little over 1 billion. And before the exuberance we've seen recently, it's pretty normal to see XRP 24-hour volume around ballpark at 600 to 700 million dollars. And so again, a little over 1 billion now, but the other day it was closer to 1.6 billion at a point when I was making one of my videos either 1 or 2 days ago. Unusually high. So let's break down what's actually happened here. Why was XRP not impacted? Well, I think it's pretty clear to see that. That's because Judge Torres made a ruling, and I've been reporting on this for days, but I want to lay out the whole case here. Judge Torres made her ruling on Daubert challenges, which really substantially and materially harmed the SEC, some of the SEC's arguments in the SEC v. Ripple case, in particular as it pertains to arguments specific to the Howey test. That is very damning for the SEC. And Ripple's expert witnesses regarding those Daubert challenges in that ruling, mostly unscathed. Most of what Ripple wants to be able to argue, the judge agrees they should be able to argue. It's going to be considered in the case. It's admissible. So that's fantastic. So market participants globally, once they had time to soak that in, they're like, huh. So that's why as markets were going down, XRP did something different. It did respond for a couple days, but it's not invincible. Because here's what we had happen. We had scary sounding news a few days ago from the Fed chair, Jerome Powell. And then what happened the day after that? We had the Silvergate Bank scary news. Silvergate Bank is winding down operations. I think they're in the hole, 700 million. And the good news is, although that was a contagion stemming out from the whole FTX Ponzi scheme situation, all participants customers, that's the word I'm looking for. All customers of the bank with funds deposited will receive that back. So it's fully backed. But the bank's screwed. So I broke down why that was the case and how they fell apart in a video yesterday. So you had that the other day. That was 2 days ago. And then what happened? What started happening yesterday? Additional fears coming out having to do with banking fears. And so you put all of this together, and here's what we've seen. So when it comes to the concerns of the comments from the Fed chair, that impacted not just crypto but also equity markets. The fear having to do specifically with the Silvergate Bank, perhaps that was more so just causing fear within the world of crypto. Okay, but then when you're talking about Silicon Valley Bank and some of this other stuff, which I'm going to get into in a second here, that hammered equities and because that was not specific to crypto actually, but crypto moves in tandem with stocks generally speaking, and so crypto got hammered there again 3 days in a row. Scary news. And so again, you don't need to be a wizard to figure out that the price is going down for XRP and Bitcoin or pick your crypto have nothing to do with new fundamental flaws of crypto itself. So people panic selling here. I'm just like, get a damn grip. So you all do whatever you want. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor, period. Buy or sell, hold, doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Do whatever you want. But I'm just saying, for the people that are emotionally making these decisions, it just doesn't make a damn bit of sense. And again, there's nothing special about me. I'm not a wizard. There's enough fake internet gurus out there. I'm just going to tell you who I am. I'm a dude on the internet named Moon Family Sedan who may or may not be wearing pants. You do not know my current pants situation. You don't need to be a wizard to figure this stuff out. It is not difficult. So take in that data and then like choose. If you're one of the people feeling fear out there, that does make you normal. I'm the weirdo that doesn't feel fear, but I'm trying to help you become weird like me, okay? Because it's not fun to feel the fear. So if you're feeling that, don't feel stupid. You're not bad or weird or wrong. It not in that sense, but become weird with me because it doesn't make sense to feel that. It's so obvious. So, and look, this is part of the territory. There's always going to be positive news and scary news. There's going to be these cycles. And if you're paying attention because you're hyper interested in what's happening in crypto, just like I am, you got to bear all that stuff. And so it's best to just, and I think a lot of this, honestly, because it's normal to have fear, but I think the longer you're in this stuff and the more you see, yeah, this stuff happens, the less it emotionally impacts you once you realize, okay, yeah, it's causing all these retail lemming speculators out there to make, the price of stuff that I hold go down. But it's also irrational because it's going down, but it doesn't mean there's a problem with the thing that I'm holding necessarily. And in here it doesn't. That's why the entire damn asset class is moving in tandem. This isn't scary stuff. It's not complex to understand in a general sense, which is why I love my approach to investing, which is once I buy stuff, I hold, and then I just do nothing. Literally, that's it. I'm just holding my stuff. So take a look at this article. This is from Reuters, from literally yesterday, and we'll see what's happening because at the time that I'm recording this, it's still early in the AM. There's going to be some news dropping, which is cited in this article, and it's going to probably impact what happens in markets one way or another. Could be to the downside, could be to the upside, depending on what is announced. I'm not even going to hazard a guess. I'm just making you aware of what is being considered so that when something happens, you can recognize why it just doesn't make any sense to be scared. Because people panic sell, and then there are people who are level-headed that come in like, looks like people are panic selling. I guess I could top off my bags for XYZ, whatever the coin is or whatever the stock is, and then eventually you get another floor and then continue trending to the upside. That's what happens. That's what's been happening in crypto for 14 damn years. So anyway, piece reads as follows. Wall Street's three major stock indexes closed lower on Thursday, with bank stocks creating the biggest drag, while investors also worried that Friday's jobs report could spur more aggressive interest rate hikes from the Federal Reserve. The S&P 500's bank index finished down 6.6% after hitting its lowest level since mid-October. Investors fled the sector after tech industry lender SVB Financial Group launched a share sale to shore up its balance sheet due to declining deposits from startups struggling for funding. Investors were also stressing out before Friday's U.S. non-farm payrolls report for February, with expectations for large wage increases fueling inflation worries. Fed Chair Jerome Powell this week exacerbated concerns about upcoming interest rate hikes aimed at fighting stubbornly high inflation. Traders were betting that chances of a 50 basis point rate hike at the Fed's March meeting were around 60%, according to CME Group's FedWatch tool, up sharply from a probability of 31% before Powell's Tuesday and Wednesday appearances in Congress. And so there you go. The reason I highlighted that article because it perfectly summarizes what is going on. They didn't mention Silvergate Bank, but there's Silicon Valley Bank. And by the way, I wanted to mention this too. My gosh, I got a serious question for you folks. Jim Cramer, oh my God, inverse Cramer is a real thing. So I want to know, do people who watch Jim Cramer on television, perhaps they're not, engaging in social media or tracking news particularly as much as you and I on the internet and social media. I want to know, the people that just watch Jim Cramer on television, they're perhaps not, do they just not know the degree to which he is a joke on the internet? Do they not understand? And the reason I'm saying this is because you already know if you're looking at the screen here, there are multiple accounts pointing this out, including the one that's on your screen here. This is the Zero Hedge Twitter account, sharing this with 1.5 million followers. It's a screen grab of Jim Cramer talking about Silicon Valley Bank on February 8th, just over a month ago. And here's a quote from Cramer. Stocks still cheap. He's talking about Silicon Valley Bank here, which is down substantially. Silicon Valley Bank. Silicon Valley Bank. Stocks still cheap. I think the fears are not justified, and it's a very compelling situation. End quote. Down substantially. This is a substantial part of the reason they're seeing that banking index down, and that's why you're seeing fears ripple throughout the market, including into crypto. And then another popular Twitter account, Genevieve Roche-Decter, I'm probably butchering the last name, she pointed out the same thing, and she also highlighted that in 2008, this is always hilarious to me, Jim Cramer said that Bear Stearns was fine in 2008. And then what was it, like a day or two or three, whatever it was later, just completely crumbled. Oh my God. Inverse Cramer is real. So I just want to know, the people that watch him on television, like, oh, I'm got stock tap him, mouth breathers out there. Do they realize that agree to which he is a joke all up on interwebs? That's what I want to know. Completely right. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Just calm your nerves. Everything's fine in crypto. It doesn't mean we won't go lower, but it just, you got to choose what you believe. Like, do you believe that crypto is here to stay or not? And for me, the answer is firmly yes. Since I believe that the answer is firmly yes, it's not going away. And I also see that XRP is functionally useful in business models. Businesses don't want to go away for so many reasons. It's going to continue to thrive as long as that is the case for, XRP specifically. So understanding the general backdrop for all this and the degree to which we do continue to see just an increase of adoption despite major pullbacks because market cycles are real, knowing that that is persisted for 14 years, what's going to make that change? The genie's out of the bottle. After 14 years, this is the moment where, we actually don't want crypto as a human species. Let's just abandon all of it. This is the moment. No, it doesn't make sense. So the fear, it doesn't make a damn bit of sense. So you can go on about your day, and if prices drop, you should just be like, Now, that doesn't mean I'm telling you to buy or sell or hold anything. You get to choose that. I'm just saying whatever you're going to do, just take the emotion out of it so you can make a level-headed decision. That's all I'm saying, because I don't know what's best for you. I'm just saying whatever you want to do, fine, go for it. Take the emotion out and recognize that the people that respond with fear make important financial decisions. They typically are just harming themselves. So I'm just going to wait this thing out. I mean, I've been now combating this or observing this for over half a decade in crypto. Over half a decade. It's the same story, just different, just different characters in it for over half a decade. From the frauds to the companies that fail and then the successes, all of that. It's just rinse and repeat. And this is just another part of it. And so I just choose not to participate. So I just wanted to deliver a positive message because, look, whether it's rain or shine, I'm going to be here. I've been for over half a decade. I ain't going nowhere unless you guys decide that you don't like me anymore, and then that hurts my feelings. And then fine, I'll stop making videos. But outside of that, I'm going to be here rain or shine because the degree to which this is life-changing, the opportunity, it is very real. So even in days where we're down like this, I'm like, okay. I'm still excited. Like, I'm here for it. And things will eventually get better, and we will go back into greed, and then ultimately extreme greed, because that's what humans do. And I know humans behave like that. And all the silly stuff in between, I'm just not going to participate. I place my bets. I'm just going to hold now. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.